Imagine standing on top of a mighty wall, watching thousands of Roman soldiers marching toward your city, their armor shining in the sun, their weapons ready, and knowing that this might be the last day of your freedom. Because what happened in Jerusalem in 70 AD was not just a battle, it was the collapse of a civilization and the end of an era. And before we begin, if you love powerful history stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more epic documentaries every week, because your support helps us bring history to life. By the 1st century AD, the Roman Empire had become the most powerful force in the world, stretching from Britain to Egypt and ruling millions of people through its disciplined armies, advanced roads, and strict laws. Yet in the eastern province of Judea, deep anger was growing among the Jewish population due to heavy taxes, corrupt governors, and disrespect toward their religion, which eventually exploded into rebellion in 66 AD, when Jewish fighters attacked Roman officials, seized weapons, and declared independence, believing that God and courage would help them defeat Rome. But the empire responded with overwhelming force as Emperor Nero sent General Vespasian with powerful legions to crush the revolt. And one by one Jewish cities fell, villages were burned, thousands were killed, and fear spread across the land until only Jerusalem remained standing. And when political chaos in Rome made Vespasian emperor, he returned to the capital and left his ambitious son Titus in charge of the war, who arrived in 70 AD with nearly 80,000 soldiers and surrounded Jerusalem completely, cutting off food, water, and trade, turning the holy city into a prison where starvation, disease, and desperation ruled daily life, forcing people to eat grass, leather, and even waste just to survive, while inside the walls different Jewish groups fought each other for power instead of uniting against the enemy, weakening their defenses and destroying their own chances of survival. And outside, the Romans built massive siege towers, battering rams, and catapults that hurled giant stones into the city, smashing houses, breaking walls, and spreading fire, until after weeks of brutal attacks the first and second walls collapsed and Roman soldiers poured into the outer districts, where bloody street battles erupted. Yet despite hunger and exhaustion, many Jewish fighters continued to resist with extraordinary courage, attacking Roman camps at night, repairing walls under fire, and refusing to surrender because they believed divine help would arrive. And when Titus offered peace and promised to spare lives if the city opened its gates, rebel leaders rejected his offer, choosing pride and war over survival, pushing Jerusalem closer to disaster and making final destruction unavoidable. In August 70 AD, Titus ordered the final assault on the Temple Mount, the spiritual heart of Jerusalem and the most sacred place for the Jewish people. And as Roman soldiers advanced, fierce hand-to-hand combat erupted with swords clashing, arrows flying, and bodies falling on sacred ground, until during the chaos a Roman soldier threw a burning torch into the temple complex, causing flames to spread rapidly through wooden roofs and golden decorations, melting precious metals, destroying holy scriptures, and turning centuries of worship into ashes while priests and worshippers cried in despair. And although Titus later claimed he wanted to save the temple, the fire could no longer be controlled, and soon the entire sanctuary collapsed, marking the end of Jewish religious life as it had existed for generations. And after the temple fell, Roman troops stormed the remaining parts of the city, killing thousands of men, women, and children, enslaving survivors, and filling the streets with blood and ruins, with the historian Josephus claiming that more than 1 million people died during the siege while tens of thousands were taken to Rome as prisoners. And although a few rebels tried to hide in underground tunnels and secret passages, most were eventually discovered, captured, and executed, leaving Jerusalem silent and broken, its walls shattered and its houses burned. And years later Rome celebrated this victory by building the Arch of Titus, showing soldiers carrying sacred treasures from the temple as symbols of imperial glory, while for the Jewish people this monument became a reminder of loss and humiliation, because the fall of Jerusalem ended Jewish independence for centuries and forced Judaism to transform from temple-centered worship to synagogue-based faith led by scholars and rabbis, proving that even after terrible destruction a culture can survive and adapt. And this tragic story teaches us that no empire is eternal, no wall is truly unbreakable, and no power lasts forever. While division, hatred, and pride can destroy even the strongest societies, but unity, wisdom, and humility can protect civilizations. And if you enjoyed this deep historical journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more epic history stories every week. because remembering the past helps us build a better future.